Hi there guys, how you going? So the new Larxene medal and the event itself is actually out. We took care of the events within maybe half an hour on stream a few minutes ago and it went over pretty well. I'm really happy with this event. You definitely don't need the new Kari for it. It seems like you have plenty of options to take it down. Do you want to buff yourself up and try and like raw power your way through? Do you want to try and turtle the event? It seems like you have tons of options, which is really good. It's really good. I'm really happy to see this. Now, the cynical part of me says, well, they didn't balance it for the new buff cap, and therefore it's much easier for all the different play styles because we can exceed the previous buff cap. But I'm going to put that cynical side away, and I'm going to say they just put out a really good event that all of the community can hopefully pass. So I'm gonna listen to that side of my brain for a while. Anyway, let's talk about the medal itself. I'll really quickly go over it for people that didn't catch my last video. Basically, it's a medal with interesting buffs, so plus or minus 15 speed and reverse, -7 reverse, -12 to general reverse and speed-based defense respectively, but they only last for 2 attacks. If it lasted a bit more than 2 attacks, I would probably push my recommendation for this medal a lot higher. As it stands right now, it's the sort of thing where it's got a really good AoE multiplier, and that means it's really good in Colosseum, but outside of that it probably doesn't have that much use. Some PvE content for sure, but a lot of PvE content nowadays is like really strong single enemies, so I mean at least like the boss rush that we just had is... It's not a... Again, I don't think any of these are bad to pick up. You could always find a situational use for them. I personally don't think I will because I don't particularly think like my game needs this, but your game might. Your game might need a really strong AoE medal with like grounds and extra attack on it, or aerial, that can take care of a lot of, you know, enemies in the Colosseum, for example. I think it's a good medal in that regard. Anyway, how do we actually obtain it? So it's obtained in 2 ways this time around. So basically you can get it from an avatar board, and straight away with that there's 5,000 jewels is the cost, and that gets you the Larxene Plus itself at 7 stars straight away. Don't have to evolve it, don't have to use your tier 8 fairies. Awesome, really good for those of us that are basically struggling to justify evolving an AoE medal with tier 8 fairies, basically, because again, like I said yesterday, I'd much rather use those on single target, random target medals. Anyway, straight away it's at 7 stars. You also get an attack boost 8 max, which I would probably not put on the Larxene, given that she has 7 gauge costs, and especially if you roll extra attack on the Larxene, I would not put a regular attack boost 8 on it. I'd probably put something like, you know, attack boost 8 and 2, or 7 and 0, one of those sorts of cost reducing medals. You get 3 speed gems, and you also get 3 trait medals for the Larxene, which that's an overall pretty good deal. That's a very good deal. Those trait medals are gonna help power the medal up. Combine those with the fact that, you know, if you do the entire event, you're gonna get 5 trait medals and 5,000 jewels. So basically, do the entire event, you get your 5 grand, and then you can purchase the board. We talked last night about the JP version that got this board, and also the regular banner they've been getting for a while. And I said in the JP version, I think it's probably worth it to go ahead and grab the avatar board instead of the banner, because I think there's more value out of the 5,000 jewels for that instead of the 15,000 for the banner. Now, Global's a bit different. Our banner works a little bit differently, basically. It's a falling price banner, which has been in the past, but they've scrapped the old banner. Thank you, finally. They've finally gone ahead and scrapped the old banner, which is awesome. Instead, you can now get 7-star medals, and in fact, you are guaranteed 1 tier 7, 7-star medal every single time you pull off this banner. That is really good for sub slots. That is amazing for sub slots. The medals in it itself, they're not the most powerful medals in the game anymore, and especially because you're going to get them untraded, it's a little bit difficult to say pull it for those medals. New players will probably find a use for them, definitely, but veterans that are looking to get really high powered medals with really good traits are probably not going to do super well off the medals themselves out of that banner, but for the sub slots that they give off. Every single time you do a pull off that banner, you're getting, you know, 0.02 towards your Keyblade. That is huge. That is really huge. Again, you know, you can only fill your Keyblade up with, you know, medals from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8. Obviously you want tier 8 in every single slot if you can, but that's simply not feasible. But we can now start working towards tier 7 in every slot. And I know it's been on a few banners prior to that, but still, for 1900 jewels a pull potentially, that is very good economy. That is extremely good economy. Now what I might recommend is saying, if you don't necessarily want Larxene itself, but recognize this might be a pattern going forward, you think, okay, well, last year they had a Roxas and Xion event after the Larxene event, so between Larxene and Xemnas there was a Roxas and a Xion event. If the same thing happens this time around, there could be a Roxas event, a banner, and a Xion banner. If those medals are really good, it might be worth doing pulls off those banners instead, and using those to build up sub slots. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm definitely thinking about doing that. I don't personally think I'm going to be pulling for Larxene. This is the kind of thing where I'm going to wait. You never know. They might have another one of those events coming back where you can basically earn all of the old Organization 13 medals. So if that is the case, then I'd much rather, you know, wait until she comes back to actually pull for her. But like I said, if Roxas and Shion decide to be really good medals, I might be pulling off that banner instead of the avatar board. It's really personal preference for what you need. I personally can improve my game by powering up all my Keyblades to the sub-slots. I have a lot of Keyblades with Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5 medals, and again, Tier 7s coming in is a massive improvement. Massive, massive, massive improvement that could really elevate the power of a lot of my Keyblades. I don't necessarily need the medal itself, so as appealing as the avatar board is, because I think it represents very, very good value, if I was going to go for it at all, I'd probably go... I can see a lot of value in both. I really applaud Square North America this week because they're giving us really good choices. It's not like you're forced to buy a medal or keep up or fall behind. You know, we have this avatar board and we have the banner itself, which I think are really both good value. It just depends on what your game personally needs. So for all the shit talking that we do about Square, I have to really applaud them this week. Like, there are ways to do good banners, and I think this is a really good start. I personally don't think I'll be pulling for it, but saying that, I mean, the banner's around for another 10 days. There's no reason not to wait. Again, like I always stress, there's no reason not to wait. We've been talking for a while now. Potentially when Kairi goes away, Shion might take her place. Maybe, it might be a little bit after that. Who knows? But again, no reason to rush out and do all your pulls day one when the banner's around for so long. There's no High Score Challenge reveal just yet. And even if there is, typically in Global, we don't have the organization members as High Score Challenge medals. So I would just wait a little while, see what happens. You definitely don't need it for the event. Let's go ahead and do the event now. Okay, this is the setup that I ended up using. So the Riku that I mercied not too long ago with the 5 pulls from the Black Friday deal, that was pretty accessible to everyone. Era, I think Era is a great medal going against speed type enemies, which we've seen a fair few of, just because he weakens their speed-based offense and raises our speed-based defense, which made her attacks, even at stage 13, pretty much just glance off of us. Roxas here, just really because I needed a reverse magic medal. This one lowers, you know, general defense by a fair bit, as well as raising reverse strength. Pretty good fit. If this Kairi right here, so obviously the new buff system means that overwrite medals, you can really only have like 1 per Keyblade, maybe 2. This medal right here is not an overwrite medal. It's a pretty good buffer, and it really elevates, you know, general attack, all that sort of thing. And again, it serves its place as a buffer like it did several months ago. And I just put second chance on it all that time ago, and I'm happy to do it again. So second chance still remains on my Kairi from months and months ago, and it's serving its purpose very, very well right there. Like I said, the Riku that we pulled a little while ago, and I just copied it with the Shion. Again, not my strongest setup by any stretch of the imagination, but I think one that a lot of people should be able to replicate. And then I put just a medal at the back, a nice strong, you know, power medal with that raises the counter, as well as having extra attack. It just made a lot of sense to me. So went in and borrowed a Sephiroth. I think this is pretty doable for a lot of people. Again, your mileage may vary, but I think just a defensive medal to take some of the hits, a heal if you have one, as much of a buffer as you can provide yourself. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't use more than 1 Foreteller, more than 1 Stained Glass, more than 1 Kairi or Shion EX, for example. I would just have one and then try and get as many buffs out and the rest of the Keyblade as you possibly can, with some high damaging medals towards the back. If you are relying on a friend medal, like a friend Supernova medal, for example, try and buff that thing up, because with the new plus and minus 15 buff cap, you can really make that thing just absolutely sing, and we'll see that in a second here. So, oh boy, my phone flips out. It's getting really hot. So as you can see, she is flanked by 3 Barrier Masters. So what the reference is to Larxene herself by the 3 Barrier Masters, I haven't quite figured that out yet. Part of me is having weird conspiracy theories that it's part of like the whole Book of Prophecies thing, but yeah, we'll leave that for next time. You can see right there, the Kairi isn't even gilded, and it did a decent chunk of damage to the Barrier Masters, which obviously have pretty low defense. Okay, so we took out 2 of them in one go. So if you guys aren't aware of the gimmick of a Barrier Master, the entire time we were attacking Larxene just then, we were debuffing... actually, I can use my mouse, can't I? We were debuffing her, but now that the Barrier Master has basically been killed, its final action is to fully dispel its teammates. And what that means for us is that we keep all of our buffs, but the enemy loses all of their debuffs. They're reset back to neutral. So we have to effectively start stacking our buffs and debuffs again. So, as you can see, that hit there did pretty little amount of damage because it was only down to -7, you know, -7 general, speed, and upright, which is what Riku does. And effectively, we just sort of have to start attacking it again. Once the Barrier Masters are dead, of course, basically free pickings. It's much easier to take the event down. We can tank her hits pretty easily. Again, because I've got Era with me, it's like laughable how much damage she does to us, even at stage 13. But if you don't have Era, you can replicate that with, I mean, Violet if you have her. Any of the defensive medals like Demix Plus, Mrs. Incredible. Okay, so she's going to attack us now. And there we go. Laughable. When she does that little 2 knives attack, which for some reason she did a few times to me when I did this playthrough initially, it just completely falls off us, which is absolutely crazy. Kari's there to heal us back up, which is another awesome benefit of Kari. Okay, so unfortunately now the Barrier Master is dead, and again we'll dispel her one more time, but from this point onwards we just effectively have as many turns left as we want to try and kill her. We're pretty defensively sound. I don't even have a defense boost skill on, and her hits just bounced off us, which is crazy. But yeah, away we go after that. Just dealing as much damage as we possibly can, which is a pretty decent amount. Okay, so she's going to retaliate again once more. And again, that little lower cut knives attack does absolutely nothing, which is really awesome for us trying to tank it. Again, Era is the reason I'm able to tank that hit so well, but you guys could definitely replicate that again. Lower their general defense down in any way, shape, or form. Zexion Plus, as long as you have like enough counter support for it, so basically build up her counter with other medals like, you know, like Sayus Plus is a great one if you did manage to get that, just because it's going to add a few hits to the counter. I think it's 3. Yep, every single time. And that was it already. My goodness, that was really, really easy. We didn't even have to, didn't use second chance, didn't use anything. So she is insanely tankable. I didn't get to show it off, but she does have another attack where she attacks you with lightning. That can definitely kill you, but basically you have plenty of turns. You know, you get revived by the pet, you get revived by second chance, so you do have plenty of options. If you guys need more specific help, just because there are so many defensive medals, there are so many setups out there, definitely come talk to me on the Discord. You could use like a single target setup and basically just completely ignore the Barrier Masters if you wanted to, and just completely focus on Larxene. And once she was dead, then you could take them down. Plenty of things you can do, guys. Plenty of things you can do. So do let me know if you need any help. Come to the Discord and have a chat. This event is very, very possible. You know, if you don't have Era, use a Kairi or a Shion EX Plus. They were pretty easy to get. Stained glass medals, all that good stuff. Very, very easy. But again, if you need help, come on the Discord, ask for help, and we'll talk about it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you really soon. Let me know if you're going to pull for the medal or not, or if you're going to wait. And yeah, see you soon, guys. Bye.